Hey guys, Cameron here with Emerson Property Management. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable warrant portfolio in about 2 years and now manage that portfolio. Today, guys, I want to talk about passive income. That's what everybody wants, right? That's why you got into real estate and bought residential rentals, because you want passive income. You don't want to have to work for money. Guys, I have to tell you, and that's what I want to talk about in today's episode, passive income does not exist. It's kind of like passive fitness. So there's your little hanger. Before we get into it, if you guys find this valuable, like, subscribe, share. If you don't, give us some honest feedback. Love good actual constructive feedback. And if, like I said, if you guys do find value, it helps us out a lot to just like, subscribe, share. Appreciate that. So if you're a rental property investor, or you want to be, are you doing it for passive income purposes? I used to, when I was buying and wanted to buy, I thought, I can't wait, I'm gonna have 5 rentals and I'm not gonna have to work anymore and I'm just gonna sit back and do nothing. How that changed, my gosh. What the community and these gurus have tried to teach you, or try to make us all think, I say you, they made me think the same thing. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, everybody makes you think that once you get in and buy some rentals, that it's all passive and you're done. You know, you bought the rentals and now it's, now hand it over to the property manager and it's done. Even if you hand your property over to a property manager, it is not passive. And again, like I said earlier, I would relate this to passive fitness. Have you guys ever been able to just get in really good shape and then do nothing and keep that same single digit body fat, or all that muscle you had, or those record bench presses, squats, whatever? Another skill. Have you guys developed a skill in something else? Pickleball is popular now and you're fantastic at it. And now you can do passive, your skill in pickleball is your passive pickleball skills. You just hang out and do nothing and now you're to the same level you were before. No. I know that was a great analogy. You are thinking, damn, how did he come up with that? So I have to dispel this. Passive income is not passive. One, in the beginning, to find these deals and to create this effort, you have to spend a lot of time to do it outside of just going in and collecting a paycheck. There are companies that you can buy properties that they call them turnkey. You're going to lose a lot of value doing that, or potential value, because they're the company it's kind of a whole integrated company where they find it, they fix it up, they put a tenant in there, and then they'll even do the property management for you. But you'll lose some of the value along the way because they're taking a taste out of kind of every single thing. But if you buy 10 of them over time, who cares? And that's your goal to, over the next 10 or 20 years, maybe going with a turnkey company is great. I don't know how I got on the turnkey. Oh, because at the beginning, you're going to have to do some work. So then once you find the investment, you're going to have to either do the management yourself, or you're going to have to hire a property manager. And people think, okay, I'll hire a property manager and then I'm done. I can tell you that we take a lot of the onus off of the investor and work and energy and thinking, because we're professionals. I do more turns in a month than most owners would do through their entire lifetime with us. And I'm not kidding. I do 7 to 10 turnovers a month. I think the most we've done is about 15. 15 turnovers. If you do one a year, that'd be 15 years. And our average length of tenancy is between 3 and 4 years. So if you own a property with us for 10 years, you might do 3 turns. I do more turns, or we do more turns as a company in 1 month than most owners will do with us in their entire lifetime of owning the property. So I can tell you that we have systems and we take a lot of that stuff off your plate. But you still have to be involved somewhat, right? You still have to check on your property manager, check the statements, ask the right questions, talk to them about your investment philosophy. Hey, I don't want to do anything on this. This is my retirement income. I just want to ride this out. Don't fix much. There's a certain philosophy. Or, hey, I've got, I'm actively buying. If you talk to your property manager, then they'll be able to help you with that. So it's not just sit back and do nothing. There are going to be decisions that you're going to have to make, and for especially for a lot of other property managers that are kind of doing property management on the side, you're going to have to manage that property manager or make sure that you have your finger on the pulse. So it's not passive in that sense either. And then when you sell it, you're going to have to make that determination. Do you sell it with a tenant in place to another investor? Are you hard up for money, so you want to take a little bit less value and sell to a wholesaler? When's the right time to sell? How much are you going to fix it up? Do you want to sell as is or put some money into it and try to get a higher value? There's things to think about with all that. You got taxes and all other sorts of things to think through. So this passive income myth is not passive. You have to do things to get the property, to then maintain the property, and then find the right exit strategy for the property and improve the property over the lifetime. I mean, windows and floors and doors and appliances and stuff only last so long. So you got to think about some of that strategy you guys have. I just see this too much, this passive nonsense. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So I want to dispel that. I thought it too. I was right there with you. But I can tell you, just from paying mortgages every month and making sure, if you don't escrow everything, you've got taxes that are going up and up every year. Do you protest those? What's your overall asset? Once you start having maybe 2, 3, I'd say more than 4 to 6 and above, 5 to 7 and above, you need to start thinking about asset management. Do you need to move the equity out of this property to put it in another property? There's all sorts of analysis and things that you can do, but it's not passive. It really isn't. And I don't know any other way to say it than there's no passive investing and there's no passive fitness. It just doesn't exist. And I can tell you right now, if you don't stay on top, I've heard horror stories of property managers. Obviously we would never do this, but I don't know who this company was or even that they're still around, but they were saying the property was vacant. This person bought a property out of state. They said they were having trouble renting their property. They went over there to check it out, didn't tell the property management company that they had hired, and they actually went over the property and found out that somebody was living in the property paying rent, and the property manager was saying it was vacant and keeping all the money. Passive investing is not passive, y'all. You've got to watch that stuff. You've got to do some Q&A. Just like with anything else, you cannot sit back and expect to get the same results. So I hope that was helpful. I can only say that in so many different ways. There's no need to drag this out, but just keep in the back of your mind, passive investing is not passive. There's no passive fitness. There's no passive pickleball. There's no passive investing, and especially residential real estate. Appreciate y'all tuning in. See you next week.